Can you hear us?
Yes, can you see me?
Yes, I can. Can you see
Oh,
everybody? Are you in the gallery view real quick?
I can see everybody up on top. Hi, guys.
Hi. Um,
Hi.
Jen, switch your camera just real quick in that view setting. Just go to gallery view real quick, just so you can see all these smiling faces.
Okay, there we go. Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody. All right, cool. So now you've got some fun folks here, people that are super, super excited. We've got some other YouTube celebrities with us too, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Jen, go ahead and put your view back into speaker view, and then I'm going to mute everybody, and then we will get started. It'll probably mute you as well, Jen, so I will unmute you.
Okay.
All right, hold on one sec. Going to spotlight you, Jen, and now I am going to unmute you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good, and I can hear you. How are you?
I'm good. I just have a little box in front of
Uh-oh.
me. What is this?
You gotta love Zoom, right? By the end of this, we're all gonna be either experts or we're never gonna go back to Zoom ever, ever, ever again.
Okay, so if I click on you, will I see you then?
Are you in, what are you seeing right now? Are you doing view?
You guys, please don't think I'm silly. I have it on,
Is it on speaker or gallery?
it's on speaker and it has like a bar of everybody on top.
Yep, that's what you're gonna wanna see.
Okay, so I see you. You're just little.
Yeah, I'll be little, but you know what? Here, I can do this. I just didn't want to take away from your spotlight. How about that?
Hi.
How are you? Is that better? How's it going?
Good.
Look at that mug. You have to show us that mug because I've noticed that as soon as you logged in. Boo to you. That is adorable. Is that a Mickey Mouse mug or just a ghost mug? Love it.
Mickey Ghost.
Did you make that?
Oh, no. I got this at Disneyland. I went to Disneyland a couple of years ago during the Halloween time. And I was actually debating if I wanted this mug or another mug. And I went for a conference with one friend, and then a group of other friends joined us. So it was a girls' trip, all adult women. It was so much fun. And one of my friends actually gifted me this. And
nice. I'm actually impressed that it's like still intact and not chipped or broken, because if it were mine, it would already been destroyed.
I do not own very many mugs. The only mugs I collect are Disney mugs. That is, I have one Christmas Dollar General mug. Okay. From this year that I love.
Huh. And it's this year's mug? Like it's available now?
Super cute. It has a little sled on it. It's like a 25-cent, I think, sleigh ride or something like that.
Okay, so I think everybody's going to run out to Dollar General like as soon as we're done with this. And
if you're going to get a mug, skip Dollar Tree, go to Dollar General. They're $2, but they're cuter.
Nice. So how are you doing with that C word, the 19 thing?
Good. I think it's a day-by-day thing. Just depending on what's going on. I happen to live close to a big city that we just, I live in Dallas, so our numbers are going up, and that we went down to orange, so that was fun, but we're back to red.
Yep. So, same thing here in Atlanta, where I'm at. So
it's just I take it as it comes, and that's just the way it is right now. And try to find all the positives. What was hard, my littlest guy, he's 8. He wrote a little thing of all the things that 2020 has ruined.
Oh.
And seeing it from an 8-year-old's perspective was hard. He was talking about like the hurricanes and virtual school and having to wear mask all the time, and which he actually does really well. He never complains about it, which I think is great.
Yeah, that is great.
I think he likes his mask. He did tell me the other day his PE teacher liked his mask. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Is that the PE teacher?
And so his PE teacher was one of his teachers last year in school, taught him in second grade, and he has solar system mask, and she taught him.
That's cool.
And so
that's cool. I've figured out now that my mask can match kind of my outfits, I guess, and I'm trying different ones and just trying to make the best of it. And you know, I think about like doctors and people that wear them all the time anyway, and like I get, you know, irritated sometimes going just through Dollar Tree, and I'm like, all right, stop it, check myself, you know, move forward.
Before everyone was to the point of required to wear them around here, my husband with his work was already having to wear it. And then he works, he's a physical therapist, but hospital based, but not in a hospital.
Okay.
Just hospital owned.
Okay.
And they also have to wear goggles.
Oh, wow.
And that's true for a lot of medical personnel.
Yeah.
So they're all wearing masks and goggles, then, you know, I'm not going to complain.
I ventured out and went shopping with a friend of mine. We went to the mall here. It's like the big mall. And she, not me, she went into Louis Vuitton to buy a purse because she had literally saved up her stimulus check from like way back. And she wanted to buy a purse with it. And they had Louis Vuitton face shields.
Oh, yeah.
Clear plastic with the Louis Vuitton banding at the top. And it was like $1,800 or something like that. I was just like, I'm good. I don't think I'm going to do that. So I want to know now, little bit of common crazy. You say in your bio, you have kids, you're a mom, you're married. Tell us about how that is and juggling YouTube life.
It's probably a little bit calm. Okay. And a whole lot of crazy most of the time. It is, you just make it work. And my kids are super supportive, and my husband is by far my biggest champion. And so,
nice.
You know, when they're in school, it's easier for me to get things done and feel less guilty about taking up family time, and I can work on things.
Right.
When they're home, it makes it a little more challenging.
Now, you mentioned earlier that your kids are actually going to school, so you
are
that.
Face right now. They did 4 weeks of virtual this year, and then they have been face to face. So that's been nice. They've enjoyed it.
Sure.
We'll see if that, far haven't had them. A lot of my friends have had their kids sent home.
Oh, wow.
I haven't had that yet. So we'll see.
Okay, good. So you mentioned you're from Texas. Mm-hmm. How did you and your husband meet?
We met at church.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. You're like the third person I've had on the show that has met their husband that way.
Oh, see? It must be a common thing. Yeah,
I'm gonna start going to church.
Back to Texas and had gone to church my first Sunday, and they and we met in a Sunday school class.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. So with all of you have, first of all, you have the best thumbnails ever. Like,
oh, you are so nice.
I love your thumbnails. They grab my attention. I can see all of your projects very clearly. What program do you use for your thumbnails?
I honestly, it depends, but most of the time, I have to grab my iPad because I'm like, what am I using most of the time? Spark Post. Everybody write that down and go look at Jen's thumbnails, because you have great Spark Post, you said, right? Yeah, it helps you to just lay it out. I love that, and I am thumbnail challenged, so I need that for sure. I'm curious with your like as a kid, were you creative as a child? I don't know if I was. Yes and no. I think I was imaginative
Okay.
more than I was creative. I was more of a like, get me outside
Okay.
kind of a kid.
Yeah.
Um, but I would be able, yeah. So I don't know if I really did a whole lot like art supply kind of thing. I was just
Okay.
more imaginative.
Where did the crafting and the creation start?
Uh, I think it's always kind of been there. I just never really took a hold of it. And then when my daughter was just a baby, I had a friend that asked me if I wanted to do Stamp It Up. And I had never heard of that.
Yep.
And asked if I wanted to join a little group where once a month we would get together and make cards.
Okay.
And I was like, well, once a month out of the house with my friends. Okay. And it was all my friends.
Yeah.
And I remember at first being really nervous about doing this because I don't like making mistakes. I like things to be perfect. And it allowed me to get creative and learn how to make imperfections work for me.
Oh, I love
and
that.
just to let things go.
Nice.
And my sisters had done like scrapbooking. One of my older sister is what for years was a digital scrapbook designer.
Wow.
And my little sister did a lot of scrapbooking. She actually is the person that did all the decorating, like for her and one of her best friends did the decorating for my wedding.
Wow.
And then had people wanting to hire them after, like she's good.
Nice.
And so I had seen what they could do, and I was always really intimidated that I'm like, there's no way I'm ever going to do that. They got that. And then I just started doing things that I enjoy doing. I would always look at stuff and say, well, that's nice, but I can make it for less. And I knew I could make things. I knew I could duplicate things.
Okay.
But I wasn't willing to like branch out and try to create my own.
Nice.
Like I had to kind of get comfortable with that.
I think that's really, really cool, actually, because I feel like there's a lot of us that kind of start off, in different ways. Obviously, we all have our own paths. And I can relate personally to your story because my mother is very creative. But she's like more like decorative and flower arrangements. And she does the house really nice and everything. My sister, however, is like a stellar painter. She makes her own cards. She's extremely crafty and creative. And for years, like my sister makes her own paper and like she just does all this crazy stuff. And I never did that. I was kind of like the actor guy. And I started going, I was bored and like went onto a Dollar Tree Facebook group and just started following that. And then I saw somebody make some like little wood houses things out of popsicle sticks, and they made candle holders out of them. And I thought, oh, I can maybe create my version of that. So I, went to Dollar Tree knowing I was going to be able to find everything, couldn't find anything. And I ended up actually making these as my very first project.
Oh, I love it.
And it's just barbecue or like, the skewers and it's probably not even painted. No, it's not. Look how,
boxes, yeah.
See how redneck and trashy I am. It's still got the original picture from the thing on the bottom.
I bought several of those.
But I did this, and then I started just kind of posting and doing different things. Don't look at my fat. And then I just started playing around. But I think a lot of us, because I see people nodding heads and smiling and stuff, and like I think a lot of us kind of have that creative energy or those creative juices, and then sometimes it just takes a little spark to get it going. I'm curious when you started when did you transition to YouTube?
So I started YouTube not to do DIYs actually. So for the first year, my thought was, I was kind of more going to go cleaning, organizing. I am a fanatic organizer.
Oh, please come to my house.
I have another friend. We both love organizing, and our friends always like to have us help them do that. And it's just something that we we know that it's just either you innately have that or you don't. And I'm the girl that always cleaned the house growing up. I would go into my mom's closet and organize her closet for her. My closet is color and style coordinated.
Oh my.
Like, I just have always been that way. And I couldn't understand when I would see other people's that it just wasn't that way. And I always felt like there was just an easier way to do things. And so I'm like, of course I'm going to share this with people. Why are people making this so much harder than it needs to be? And so that was kind of my original thought, was I wanted to share that. And along the way, one time I went ahead and did a DIY that I wanted to put on a table and shared that. And that video did really well. And as I made DIYs, I would just share them as I was decorating my home, and I would make them and I would share them. And nothing else, no one else cared about the rest of my videos. Those were the only videos that ever gained traction. And it took me well over a year before I was like, okay, well,
maybe I should craft.
People spoke and they don't really care about my organizing. And that's okay. I can still organize, but why don't I do what everyone else is asking and enjoy that? Since I'm enjoying it anyway, I might as well go down that path.
That's amazing. I wish I'm serious about coming to my house. I might even like fly you out to my house just to help me with that, because I'm not good at that at all. We talked earlier actually about our craft spaces and like where we create, and you know, the room that I'm in is multi-purpose and it serves a lot of different functions. Tell us where you craft and create.
In
I think people
my master bedroom on the floor.
Say it again.
I craft in my master bedroom on the floor.
What?
Yep. We have a 3-bedroom house and I have 3 children. So my boys share a room. My daughter has her own room. And this room actually probably, honestly, would work. But don't tell my husband that, because this is our front room.
Okay.
I will never let him call it a theater ever, because it's a large window for one. But a theater has one purpose. And this actually has our piano. This is where we do watch movies.
Okay.
And it is a family congregating room. It is not our living room. We still have a living room. It's right through these double French doors that are right here that you cannot see. The two touch.
So it could easily become.
There's a TV here. There's a TV there.
Right. Put the comfy sofa in there and everybody's happy, right?
But we're not to that point yet. So right now, I'm fine. I craft. I have a spot on my floor. I sit on my floor. I'm a crisscross applesauce kind of girl anyway, if you can't tell. So I sit on my floor and that's where I work. I'm happy there. So
that's amazing. And so like, it's funny because like I'm looking at a lot of people now and their backgrounds, and like Courtney is in her craft space. She's got a fireplace. And then we've got Katie, and like she's got these organized shelves that I could like not even dream of having. And then Christy creates. She doesn't have her camera on right now, but I know Christy really well, and she's probably going, oh crap, I gotta turn my camera on right now, but because he's talking about me. But she actually has a storage unit that is exterior from her house that is cataloged with an Excel spreadsheet, and she knows every single thing that she has in hers. Me,
that's who you need to have come organize your house then.
Me, it's in a bucket over here. It's still in some Dollar Tree bags there. There's a pile of it on the workstation where I can't even work now. I've got stuff in the hallway closet. Like, it's everywhere.
Well, my craft area where I sit and do stuff don't get me wrong, it gets messy, but I do organize. Like, I do have a shelving unit also in my room that I got at Costco. 3 of them actually that stack.
Okay.
And each of the bins I separate. Like I have right now, I'm putting in different Christmas stuff that I'm pulling out. So I just organize that way with the stuff that I need, as well as stuff that I grab all the time. I have another unit that is just Cricut. And then I have another shelving unit that has like my paints, all my glue stick stuff, glue guns, like my tools that I like to grab constantly that I have to have right next to me.
That's amazing. Christy just joined us again, and we were talking about you, girl. And I see you was getting a snack. I could tell. I was talking about your great storage space and how lucky you are with the and how you Excel catalog everything and you know everything that you've got. I might actually have to bring you to Atlanta to help get mine underway because you're really good and Jennifer seems to be really good at organizing. So
Everyone should Excel spreadsheet
I mean,
all their Dollar Tree stuff so they don't overspend.
I don't want to do that because I want to be able to buy stuff when I go to Dollar Tree. I'm trying to buy because you know how Dollar Tree is. Like you get there and it's gone.
I know, but how many Dollar Tree signs have you bought to use?
I can tell you how many.
Oh, do you have some? Oh, wait, is that all you have?
I don't want to knock everything over. Ooh. So I have a bin right here with all Dollar Tree signs in it.
Is that it?
No. This is just the one that I could grab right here. But it's I also have mirrors in here too. And then I keep the frames. If I just use the mirror, I keep the frames for other things. But yeah, I know that I'm not quite as I know I don't have quite as many as other people do, but
I think I have too many.
How many would you say you had if you could guess?
Oh, really? Just
signs.
Oh. Well, considering I have a bin in my storage shed.
Like a 30-gallon tote or something, or?
Yeah, that's holding signs and then some of those little wooden crate things also. Okay. There's a point of excess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. It's only $1. It's so easy.
And I'm really trying to be better. Like, I know Courtney's really good at, like, when she sees it, she wants to know she has like something she's going to do with it before she buys it.
Yep.
And so I'm like, it's a better way to do it. It's instead of
I will go to sleep at night and I keep like a little pad and paper next to my bed. And I will literally wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, I got that and I can make this with it. And then I'll go to Dollar Tree and try and find it because I saw it before. But then when you try to go back, you don't find it again. So that's why I buy everything that I can. I'm curious, you mentioned the kids. Are any of your kids following in your creative footsteps?
Well, if anyone follows me on Instagram, they know that my youngest son likes to make things constantly.
Yeah. He was doing a bow and arrow recently, right?
Yes, he's making his own bow and arrow, which some of the leftover pieces, he told me he can now also make a shield. So there's that. He does costumes all the time. He's always making things. My daughter is more into painting, yarn, things like that. Yeah. She does things that I don't even do. And then my oldest son isn't crafty. He's more, I don't want to say techie, because he's still into like Legos and building. And then if you have anything that breaks, he just wants to take it apart for all its bits. And
wow.
Like, all its inner workings.
I would say that's creative for sure. He could be an architect or an engineer.
He's actually going to be getting his associates in engineer.
Wow.
So in engineering. So
that's amazing. You mentioned your very first project when you first uploaded to YouTube. What was it again? You said it was something for your table?
Oh, I did. I think everybody at the time I did this had done this. I did a picture frame tray and one of those picture frame lanterns.
Oh yeah, the lanterns are very popular.
Everybody did one of those lanterns.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And the Jenga block lanterns too. I think everybody's done those.
Yep.
And then what is your most favorite project?
How many people are going to be upset if I don't say it's a Dollar Tree one?
No, we're a non-judgmental group here. This group.
I have a really large home sign that I did, and I did use the Dollar Tree dowel rods to spell out home.
Okay.
And I really liked that a lot. I thought it turned out really pretty, and it definitely doesn't look. I don't think it looks cheap at all. I think it looks really nice.
Okay.
And then a while back, I saw it at Hobby Lobby. It was five pictures. that were connected together, rectangles and then one oval shaped picture, and they're all connected. And I think it was like $70. And I'm like, I can make that for less. And so I went to a thrift store, I bought all my picture frames and put them together, and that sits on my mantle. And it's one of those videos that never did well because other people probably don't need something that large or that long.
Right.
But I love it. And it's, you know.
Yeah, that's what is the most important. I have this side table that I made with those long rectangular Dollar Tree signs, the really thick wood ones, and it did like nothing. And it is my most favorite project. It still sits next
I'm impressed because I tried to use those to make something, and I wanted to hurt somebody with those.
I definitely, there's an unedited version of my video out there where there's lots of language and things that
did not. I was screwing and I was doing a screw. They split because of the MDF. Yep. I'm like,
Yep.
I'm like, I ended up using wood, except for now wood doubled in price. And
yep, I use a lot of wood glue. Hey guys, I do want to open this up for everyone too. So if you have questions for Jennifer, please unmute yourself. And Sandy, I just saw you wave your hand. Indy, I saw you. Annie Jones, I saw you. So please go ahead and ask your question, Sandy. And then Indy, you can be next.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really fangirling. Like, oh, so many, even, yes. Hi, Jen. So good. I just want to, you were talking about niching down where you started off like 2 years ago, you were doing like home organization and stuff like that. I have a real problem. Like I'm a woodworker and I love DIY. I love Dollar Tree. I love painting, drawing. I just need to niche down. Do you find yourself, do you have to bring it back? Or Jamie's shaking his head no. So
I think when you first start out, it is important to niche down to kind of get your numbers out there, which is why you see a lot of people going the Dollar Tree route, because Dollar Tree will bring in views. But it doesn't necessarily mean that Dollar Tree has to be the one that you niche down in. I think whatever is your passion is the one that will end up being the one that it shows up. And so I really am enjoying Trash to Treasure. It doesn't get as many views for me right now, but the more that I do it, the more views that I tend to get with it. And so if I'm consistent with it, I know that it will eventually get me the audience. And the thing that you have to remember is, so my Dollar Tree subscribers, a lot of them may not be my Trash to Treasure subscribers. And that's the reason why you niche down. So if you're trying to throw it all out there, you're going at different audiences. And so you want to make sure that initially find your passion, your real passion projects.
Yep.
The things that you're willing to put that time, that effort, that energy into, that just it doesn't feel like you're working.
Right.
Because if it feels hard, then it's not something that's fun. And this has to be fun because it's not necessarily an easy thing at first at all. Like it can take time, and you want to make sure you're enjoying it and having fun.
Nice. I love that.
That's great.
And Sandy, when I was shaking my head too, what I was kind of getting at is, being true to yourself really, and understanding who you are. And like Jennifer was saying, when you are really passionate about something and you're doing it, it's going to show. It's going to show. Sandy, tell us the name of your channel. That way people watching can follow you, and also other people that might catch it on YouTube later.
Hey, I'm Sandy McKenzie, Lumber Mill DIY. And Jamie, I got to make that tie. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
I
picked it up at a craft show, actually. Funny enough.
Nice.
Thank you for your
so
question,
much.
Sandy.
That was great advice.
Thank you, Sandy.
Indy, I'm going to let you go next. I'm going to spotlight you as well. Go for it.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Indy.
Good.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks.
Good.
I think she's fangirling a little bit.
Yes, I am. I'm a little nervous. But my question for you, because for all of us who are starting out, what's the hardest lesson that you learned through your YouTube channel, and how has that applied to the rest of your life?
Good question.
I would say, honestly, be comfortable in your own shoes. Don't try to fit into somebody else's. Don't try to fit what everybody else is doing. Don't try to compare yourself to other people. That doesn't work in life, and it doesn't work well on YouTube. You're going to be frustrated. There's always going to be somebody that is doing it better than you, that's getting more views than you. And on the other end, there's going to be someone that's struggling and wishing they had your views. So learn to be grateful for what you have and where you're at. And it doesn't mean that you can't improve and get better, but be happy with where you are and who you are, and don't try to be somebody else.
Excellent.
Love that.
Thank you so much.
I love that. Thanks, Annie.
No problem. And my channel is Indiana Jones. So.
Oh, that's cute. I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Who else had a question? Amber, Spotted Elk. I am going to spotlight you. That way we can see your face and put you, and you're in your car. Please be careful. You're muted, so I'm going to ask to unmute you. And then go ahead, and I think you're good now.
I'm not driving. I just got off work. So, so I just wanted to say I love your channel, first of all. Thank you so much for always putting out amazing content. I recently started my channel. The name of my channel is The Paper Owl. When you started your channel, did you do anything to help grow your subscribers? Did you like collab with people? Did you do challenges? Did you just kind of continue to put out videos? What did you do?
So when I first started, I would consistent. You have to be consistent. That is one of the main things. You need to upload at least once a week. And with doing DIYs, once a week is good. If you can do it twice a week, go for it. But if you're just getting off work, once a week might be all that you can do. And I would stick to that, but I would be consistent in what you do. It really is helpful. Very few people can be inconsistent and do well. Megan from Glue Guns and Roses is one of the only people I know that can be super inconsistent, and that girl can kill it no matter what.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter what she does. Any rule that's supposed to be a rule, that girl can break it, and she's amazing. I love her. She's funny.
She's one of your good friends too, right?
Yeah, I love Megan.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
the other thing is, yes, when I was a little, I did do some collabing, and I still do some collabing. Collabs do make me a little nervous. I will be honest. I'm not great at them. One of my very first DIY collabs that I did was with Kristen K. I love her. She slid into my comments. She was a bigger channel than I was at the time, and she reached out to me and asked if I would ever want to collab with her, to let her know. Can I tell you how much I fangirled and was just so excited that somebody would do that for me? And I thought that was super kind of her to do that. She is one of the nicest people. I mean, true, genuine, kind hearts. And I think that that's really important, that people remember that, like, no matter where you're at, that you need to always be that kind of person. If you see somebody that you're enjoying what they're doing, reach out to them too. And if you find other channels of similar style and size to you, of course, collab with them. That is really important. What I would say, and this sounds kind of bratty, is maybe not like approach somebody. If you don't watch somebody's channel and you just reach out to them and you've never left comments to them, you've never done anything, and you're like, hey, do you want to collab? And they are significantly larger than you.
Right.
They may not respond. And if they do respond, they're probably going to tell you no, because they feel used.
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to feel used, no matter where you're at. Like nobody wants to feel like anyone's being like used or stepped on.
Yep.
Right.
So that's just something to remember along that way. Like everyone should, I mean, it's kind to help each other. We want to help each other. The YouTube world is large enough for everybody.
Yep.
Right? So collab, yes. Collabing is good.
Just do it strategically and smart and genuinely.
Right.
And finding friends on
Absolutely.
Instagram, like if you can find a group on Instagram, it took me longer to get that Instagram group because I was intimidated by Instagram, I think.
Yeah.
So don't wait as long as I did.
Okay.
Find a group that you kind of are growing together and you help each other and you communicate with each other. I think it's a really powerful thing.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. It's great advice.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you, Amber. I see Courtney. She has a question. So Courtney, let me spotlight you and be nice to your friend here.
I will. Okay, so first, when you're talking about the collab, I have to say that Jennifer did the same thing for me on one of my videos. She commented in and said, I would love to collab with you anytime. And she was way bigger than me. And of course I was like, oh my gosh. So she full circle there. So she's awesome. Okay. I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it. Top 3 favorite crafting supplies.
Ooh.
Like top 3.
Top 3.
Yeah.
My Cricut. My glue gun, Sure Bonder. I don't have to name which one, right? Can we just lump them all together?
Yeah, we'll lump them together.
Okay, because I have to have multiples, not just one. And I have to have a third.
It sounds like them Dollar Tree plaques.
I was gonna say,
Those Dollar Tree signs.
I don't know if
I have 2. I have 2 more.
Is one of them your miter shears?
My miter shears, but you can't forget the Fisker craft knife.
Oh yes, the thing that I can't work.
I know.
Even though I bought it because you had it, and I was like, I gotta have that because Jennifer, I can't work it.
It is the best, like under $6 little gadget. I don't know how anyone just wields a craft knife without a finger holder. Love that thing.
Oh wow. I just got a pair of miter shears.
They are the best thing. I got mine because of her.
All right,
nice.
I'm telling you, they are fantastic.
They're the
Yeah,
best.
I haven't used it yet, but I've got a video I'm working on for tomorrow. So hi, Mr. Otis.
And they cut.
Anyone hasn't purchased the miter shears yet, just letting you know.
Yeah.
They are worth every penny. Even my 8-year-old can use them, and they are fantastic. And they can cut on different angles. Like you can cut like popsicle sticks, the dowel rods, all that kind of stuff, like smaller wood pieces.
And they're not expensive. Like I think I paid $35, I think, for mine.
Oh, they are fantastic.
Yeah.
A great tool, a must-have. Everyone should have them. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Nice. Thank you, Courtney, for your question.
Did I say the 3 that you thought I would say?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew Sure Bonder would be in there for sure.
Yeah.
So
You know
I think
you
all of us want to collab with both of you guys, so you can probably expect a lot more comments and emails and such. So I saw, was it Lisa? Did you have a question? Who had one? Yep. Lisa, I'm going to add you to Spotlight. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Go for it.
Hi, Jen. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. I actually have 2 questions.
Okay.
Going back to the social media thing, because I'm kind of the same way with Instagram. I kind of don't get it. And I'm really trying to get it. But my question to you is, where do you, if you do, promote yourself? And how much time do you put into promoting your channel?
So I am not the best at that one. I don't actually. I am on Instagram more than I am on YouTube. And I will say on Instagram stories, if there's a new video out, I put up one thing normally saying, hey, there's a new video. And then I will share projects. probably need to do it more than I do. I am probably the what not to do. I need to share more than I do. I share a lot of other things too on Instagram, probably things people don't care about sometimes. You can, I don't know. Okay, so on YouTube, YouTube has a few things that you can do that can help, but I don't know that I personally have seen that those extra things have benefited me.
And what is that thing?
So they have so you can do, now they have their own kind of stories or whatever that you can do. You can do your community tab again. Someone has to be subscribed to you anyway. So unless they're subscribed, it doesn't matter, but you do, you can get your engagement that way. But the best thing to do is going to be thumbnail and title of your video and getting yourself in browse and search.
Okay.
And if you can get into browse and search for YouTube, and then people enjoy the video once they're there, and YouTube sees that people are enjoying and coming back, then YouTube's going to continue to push you. And that is your best. YouTube can be your best promotion. It's not a whole lot of what you do. I will also, when I do post on Instagram, I do link those so people can go back over to YouTube, and I will link my YouTube into Pinterest. But most of my views still come from YouTube promoting it.
Nice.
So title and thumbnail.
I didn't even realize that you can link from YouTube into Pinterest. So
you can link your video. Yeah, you can
that
go.
Just taught me, because I have a Crafty DIY guy page, but it's like there's nothing on the Pinterest page. So that's great info. Did everybody else know that? Just nod your heads.
No, I didn't know that.
Pinterest is a really good resource. I mean, it can hit and go, but if you can get one that goes really well, then it can be a really good resource. It's like anything,
Amazing.
So I had one other question.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it actually goes to, because I'm not asking what your first, YouTube paycheck was. That's not what I want to know. What I want to know is, how long was it before you started to see consistent payouts from your channel?
So I have now done this about 2.5 years. The first year was not doing DIY. So 1.5 years with DIYs. I know how to file taxes last year. Well, I know how to file taxes the year before. But the year before was a little sketchier, and it was the first year, but I was starting, that first year I was getting something.
Yeah.
Something. And then last year, shoot, I am
No, I think it's a hard question to answer,
Well, and I think if I were somebody where my income was something that my family needed to rely upon, it would be I could answer that better. I think that's what makes it hard. I consider myself a stay-at-home mom, and YouTube is something I do for me. Even though I'm a stay-at-home mom, I have never been very good at not doing something. I originally was a teacher. And as soon as I had my first child, my husband happened to be off on Fridays. I subbed on Fridays. And then once he started working on Fridays, I was a group fitness instructor for a while. And then I stopped that when I was pregnant with my third, because pregnancy was an issue in itself. I had complications, but my mother-in-law was also needing a lot of care, medical care, and time and my attention. And so it's getting dark in my room. I should have lights on. I'm so sorry. Can you guys see me okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I stopped doing that. And then so YouTube became I've always had to do something, and I always end up doing something that involves teaching. It's just my personality. I just need to be busy, but it's never been an income issue where I've needed to be the income provider, where I'm grateful for an income. I'm grateful to have money. I'm not very good at relying on just my husband.
Right. I get it.
But I wasn't paying the bills to begin with, so I wasn't. So I'm horrible at that, and
No, I think I'm asking more like, because I know the potential is out there, and some people actually do this, and this is their income, and I get that. I think for like myself, I'm a small channel, so I made a paycheck like a month, like not this past month, but the month before, and then I didn't make payout, but I'm like doing very well that I'm going to actually get another payout. And I think I'm asking for the smaller channels. Like, what do you?
After I received my first check, I consistently received a check after that.
Awesome. Okay.
I've always gotten something.
Okay.
After that.
So basically stick it out. Don't worry so much about whether or not you're going to make that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at it right now. It's like, I don't know if I want to keep trying, but I do want to keep trying. So
if you're in, and that's the thing is, if you enjoy it,
don't worry about what the money is going to be.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy it and love it. I call this like a hobby job. It is not something that I ever feel like I have to do. It's nothing that I feel like I'm required to do. I enjoy doing it. And I think that makes it easier when negative comments come my way. When, maybe numbers aren't quite what I want them to be or anything like that. I'm always able to take a step back and go, okay, this isn't the end all be all, right? This is something I'm enjoying. I enjoy this. I'm having fun. I really like that I put this up. I did a trash to treasure video. I loved all 3 things that I did. They will be in my house at Christmas time. I'm totally fine. And guess what? I know for a fact it will have lower views than my Dollar Tree, and that's okay with me.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you have to decide like what is it that you actually want? I know other people that this is an income. So their thought process different when they're looking at their analytics and their numbers. They are looking at, okay, this will grab more, this will make more money, this will do better. And that's their focus and that's their gear, and it works well for them. And you can go about it different ways. And there's not a right, and not one of those is right or wrong. You have.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
You're fine.
I was going to say, I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier too about consistency. And Lisa, if you are doing your 3 videos a week or your 2 videos a week or even 1 video a week, and you know that your subscribers expect it on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., then if you're consistent with that, I think you're just going to start to see some growth in things as well. Because I know for myself, I was doing a weekly, and then I challenged myself to start doing it 2 days a week. And then I did it 3 days a week, where one was at least a haul video of some kind. And I'm pushing myself a little harder now just because of the holidays and everything. But I think, what Jennifer was saying earlier about consistency is just really important too. I mean, I'll tell you, my first paycheck from YouTube was $55.36. I looked while we were chatting, and it wasn't enough to meet the threshold.
Right.
And I knew what that was, though. I knew what that payday was, and I knew that money was, in my bank. And I just challenged myself. All right, next month I'm going to double that, and the next month I'm going to double that. And it's just through that consistency. And I know that we have other YouTube celebrities on the panel tonight too. And if you guys want to weigh in on this, please jump in. I don't want to call anybody out by name, but Amber, I see your hand up. Did anybody else have their hand up too?
Let me say one other thing with that though too. So you have your AdSense, but you also have your when you get a sponsorship with a company. And I'm going to warn smaller channels. You will start getting emails, normally from companies from Amazon, that will reach out for a free product. I will strongly suggest that you think twice about accepting any of those. Make sure when you decide to take a sponsorship, because it is very flattering. When somebody first reaches out to you, you are so flattered.
Yep.
And it is okay to let them know that you're flattered. But if it does not fit your channel, don't try to make it. Don't put a square into a circle. Don't. Hold out for sponsorships that truly fit you and fit your channel that you would be honored to work with. Yep. And so I have been very lucky this year. I've worked with SureBonder and I've worked with Cricut. And those are the only two. And if I showed you the list of daily emails that I get for people asking me, I don't say yes, because if I don't actually truly think it's a great product, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to share it. If it's not something I've already used and know something about, like, I want people to know that they can trust if I'm talking about it. Like, that is so important to me. And so think about that before you ever do anything. But that is another income area that you can receive more when you do get those.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We've got Craft Eat Repeat raising her hand. I'm gonna hold on one second. I'm gonna put you up there.
I'm gonna turn this light on so I don't look so
Yeah,
dark.
go for it. I was gonna tell you if you wanted to go ahead.
Hi. Okay. So I'm also fan. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm also fangirling a little bit, and I'm actually so glad that I got to get on, because I've watched so many crafters for so long, and now I'm starting to see, like, these people are just humans. Like, in my mind, I'm like, oh wow, like they're just, you guys are just like celebrities to me. So
you're a celebrity too.
No, not really.
Yes, you are.
But thank you for being awesome, and also thank you for being real, because it helps on the journey. It can get overwhelming. So when you see that, people are just people, it really helps you to be like, wait a minute, like, I can do this, So that kind of ties into my question. I'm just wondering, like, what is your weekly process as far as like creating and editing, and how long does that take you take away? I know some people, get other people to edit their footage, but just like as far as coming up with the crafts and then making them, like, what is your process to stay organized and stay on track with that kind of thing?
Y'all might want to ask Courtney hers, because I think she has a better process than me. So this is sad, but here's how I do it. I lay things out and I start looking at what I have, and I start mentally deciding what I want things to be. Like, I have a general idea, like, I have ornaments coming up in my next video. I knew I wanted ornaments. So then I start pulling out what I have, and I start putting things together and trying to come up with what I want. And I don't go looking for things, because I don't want someone else's to get boggled.
Right.
In mind. I try to stay fresh in my own head. So I lay it all out and try to get that. And then I start working on it and filming it and getting things done. And hopefully I get most of it done. Let's just say I'm to the point where it's all done, but I haven't taken a single picture of the final product. I haven't edited a single thing, and the video is supposed to go up on Sunday. And I edit my own videos. So my editing, I take way too long, because I'll be like, my hair flew in that shot. I need to try to get it out. I mean, I overthink it sometimes. And I don't know if that's necessary. I went back and watched some older videos, and I'm like, that was fine. Relax. But so I edit my own videos. I do my voiceovers. So when I edit a video, I will look at what it is that I'm creating, and then I will know what I think is important to make sure that I speak about. Like, if there was something that I thought was difficult, if there's something I want to make sure I point out. One of my favorite techniques for removing paper when I Mod Podge is to sand it off. And if somebody's new, they may not know that, and not everybody does it that way. I think everybody should do it that way, Courtney. Because I think it does the best. But so I'm still trying to convince people like that they should do it. No, just kidding. Like if you have another way that works for you, by all means, I think everyone should actually do it the way that works for them. So if I have something, so I know what it is I want to say, I talk through what it is I want to say. And as long as I'm not stumbling over my words too terribly and I can get through it, we're fine. I unfortunately do stumble a lot. And if I stumble too many times, then that determines how many times I will re-edit that because I want it to be understood. And then I edit the video according to what I'm talking about. If I speed it up, if I slow it down. And some people get frustrated because some of my, if you are used to watching crafting videos, you are totally fine with how fast I go. If you want to craft along with me, you hate my videos because my videos go fast. I am not a craft with me person. I am a show you to give you inspiration and hopefully you'll go do it kind of person. And I get that because I don't want to sit there and watch someone paint for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I would be bored. But I have people that would like me to slow down. I'm like, how long do you want me to slow down for though? I'm not sure. Like I'm painting. Like how long do you need to see that?
Yeah.
But so it's always trying to find that balance of what makes like people that have been doing it for a long time and feel really comfortable in their crafting skills, or people that are just starting, because I know we get a lot of those too. And we want to make them feel really comfortable in their crafting skills and feel like they can create any of these projects because everything I make is really super easy.
Right.
And I want to make sure that people can make them. Like otherwise, what's the point?
Right.
So yeah. So I just kind of talk through and edit as I go and try not to keep my videos too terribly long for the most part. Once at a time.
I know for me, sometimes too, I'll create a video and I just have to walk away from it and I can shoot it all, but I just walk away from it because I can't even fathom like trying to edit it together right away. And then I'll edit and piece it together and then sometimes walk away from it again. And then we'll do my voiceover. And sometimes even like Jennifer was saying, I stumble. I mean, if y'all know me, you know I can't talk half the damn time anyway. And so like when I'm doing my videos, like there's a lot of times where I'm having to re-edit. And sometimes I can get them done in like 3 days with everything from creating to editing to VO. And sometimes it takes me 2 weeks. You know, I just did the exterior of my house and that took 4 months to do that.
Which is amazing, by the way. Your house looks so great.
Thank you.
I will say I do thumbnails before I normally finish a video.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
I normally do my projects, I'll get my shots and I do my thumbnail. I like to have my thumbnail done before I even edit a video.
That's kind of cool because that probably inspires you for the rest of the video, right?
It helps. Yeah, it does help me to kind of know. And then it helps me to know that everything hopefully will flow the way that I want it to flow. So
I love that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Great
Thank
question.
you.
We have three more questions, I think. So I am going to remove the spotlight. Sun's Art, you have a question. I'm going to make you this spotlight. I'm sorry, I'm going to add spot. There we go. Go for it.
Hey, Jennifer and Jamie. I have a question for you. My name is Sun. My channel's name is Sun's Arts. And I started my YouTube channel in the month of May. And 5 months, I haven't grown much. So what did you actually do when you started your channel to gain subscribers?
I'm trying to, okay, so I put out a DIY video and I remember it took a little bit of time before that specific video actually gained traction though. It wasn't like immediate. Because I remember being somewhere and all of a sudden going, I'm getting like, my numbers were like kind of spinning every time I would look at them. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I want to say it was a couple months after that video had been posted. And so you have to know, sometimes you put a video up and it can take time. It's not always immediate. If I will, so springtime was kind of a little bit of a rough spot for some DIY channels for YouTube. It wasn't being pushed. It was just hard. Something you can always look at if you're concerned about any of your videos is double check your titles and double check your thumbnails. Are they things that pop? Are they standing out against everybody else's? And if you don't feel like they are, you can still go back and tweak those and see if you can get momentum going for the ones that you've already done, and see if you can get people into those. Make sure that you're promoting your past videos in your new videos.
Yeah, I do post, make a playlist, and then I also have it in the description. I just add those playlists in the description.
At the end of a video though, do you tell them to go check out a specific video?
No, I actually tell it in the video if something is related to that, one of my past videos. So I just say it in the video, but I also put it in the description as well, the playlist, just to, see like all the videos that I have already created. And I also use TubeBuddy for doing the titles. I just heard from one of the shows, the ChitChat shows, that TubeBuddy helps in getting the right title. I'm doing that too, but I'm at a very significant low
TubeBuddy
numbers.
can be helpful.
Yeah,
it can be helpful. It's a good tool. I like TubeBuddy. You can, and vidIQ is another one. They're both good to look at for things. And you don't have to pay for both. Like you can, if you're paying for one, you can do the free part of another, and then kind of just use some of the tools of both.
Nice.
But I'm getting that paid version of TubeBuddy because the free version doesn't give me everything.
It doesn't give you it. You're right. But you could do the free version. I'm trying to think what the free version of vidIQ would give you. And I do like TubeBuddy. At the end of your, okay, so when you, at the very end of every video, make sure that you are sending them to another video that relates. Like even if you've said it earlier, make sure you say, don't forget, because you know how you can do the end screen?
Yep.
Make sure you send them to it. But if you, because one of the things that's nice is if people will watch your video, but stay on and watch another video of yours. And the longer that they stay on, the better. How long are your videos?
It's approximately between 8 to 15.
Okay.
I'm following all the norms that YouTube videos should be. I'm trying everything that is being, normal.
You're still a new channel. Like it's really, you're at that new stage. Like just know that you are, and you came in at a really rough time for crafting channels. It just, numbers happened to be low. That was not what was being pushed. So be patient, be consistent. If you're following TubeBuddy, are you looking at Daryl Eves and his suggestions?
I think I actually searched through the YouTube to get like more views. What should I do? So I don't remember which video I watched, but I followed all the steps that he told.
So Daryl Eves he does have really good advice. He can be kind of hard to watch, but he does have really good advice as far as like YouTube itself. And he's a part of TubeBuddy.
Nice.
So
thank you. I think that's great. I think it's great advice, and it's something that all of us can definitely relate to. Thank you, son. I just call you Sun. Sun's art.
Yeah, that's my name too.
That way we're talking about your channel too. Amber, DIY with Amber, you had a question. Amber, unmute yourself, and I'm going to add you to Spotlight, and then we've got one more after Amber.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good. No, I'm just kidding. So my question goes, hello, by the way. I've been fangirling this whole time with you, Courtney, Christy, my girl. Hey, girl. And Whitney. But anyways, my question, I had a bunch of questions, but everybody asked them, is more, I'm at the point where I'm starting to grow. I am almost at 5,000, which just happened overnight. I was just like, where did these people come from? So thank you. But my question is, once you're starting on that growth incline, I am struggling with like trolls and commenting back.
Yep.
And like, I try not to like get down about it sometimes, but like one person was like, that's not high end. You must be new to crafting. I'm like, well, high end is whatever you think that it can be, because everybody has a different taste.
I have just recently, and very seldom will I ever say something back to somebody. Most of the time, they're not worth the time it takes you to type it.
Yeah.
Because they more than likely just need to eat a chocolate chip cookie and move on with their day. And your time and attention needs to go to the people that are saying the good things. They took the time to compliment you. They're putting good energy into you, and that's where your good energy needs to go, not to the people that are going to put these other things. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting like the ickies and I know a lot of us lately were getting the inappropriate sites leaked and stuff.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you know, to get rid of them, that was time and energy I put into it. I'm not going to comment. I'm just going to report and get rid of.
Right.
And pray that nobody thinks I did anything to cause those.
Yeah.
But yeah, for people that just leave really, I mean.
Yeah, I tend to ignore them. And I'm starting to notice I have some really great subscribers that kind of come to my defense, which is awesome.
And you can leave comments like that and let them do that for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of an easier way to do it, unless it gets really, like if it ever gets catty, then I would still shut that down. If it gets bad.
Somebody told me.
Just remember, they just need to go eat a chocolate chip cookie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody told me, same thing. I did a Pride DIY project. I donated all the proceeds to the 2 videos to the Matthew Shepard Foundation when I did it. I had some of the most vile, disgusting comments ever, some that literally put me into tears. And I took a 3-day break and just didn't check YouTube, didn't do nothing. I lost probably 100 subscribers. I saw my numbers literally ticking away. I took the break. I walked away. By the time I had come back, there were already 3 times as many subscribers back on the channel. Somebody that Jennifer's good friends with, she was my very first guest. It's Megan from Blue Guns and Roses, told me that an engagement on your channel is an engagement, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And what she will do, and I love this about Megan, she will, Jennifer, you probably know what I'm going to say. She will reply back to the ugly comment and say, does this mean you're not going to subscribe to my channel? And that's all she will say. She will not acknowledge the comment ever again.
Megan's funny. Megan is sassy and funny, and it totally works for her to be that way. But she also gets comments, really unkind comments, just because of the way she talks. And which just floors me. I just don't understand people. There's just not room or space in the world for people to behave that way ever. Like, I'm not sure where civility is. I don't know why we have an issue in this world with it, in this country with it, but we do.
I think there's a lot of kids too that are just bored and they're on YouTube. It's probably not even an adult that's doing it. You know, it's probably a kid, it's a teenager that's bored. They got hormones going crazy. They're not eating their chocolate chip cookies. You know, and like Jennifer said, I mean, look at the number of likes that you're getting, look at the number of comments, look at the consistencies, and the ugly ones, you can literally flag them, remove them from your channel, you can block them, and just get rid of them.
Really bad, definitely get rid of it. And I tell my kids that when somebody says something ugly to you, it says more about them than it does about you.
Yep.
And if I'm going to tell my kids that, then I definitely have to take that to heart myself. And quite often, honestly, I read those comments to my family and we just have a good chuckle.
I think we should all get together. We should all get together and maybe have like a Zoom thing and share like all of our ugly comments, but read them like in a funny, you know how like Jimmy Fallon or somebody used to do them? Like Amber, I'll send you mine. And then Amber, you can send yours to Jennifer. And then Jennifer can send hers to Courtney. And then we all just read each other's like poopy comments just to make fun of, you know, how kind of dumb they really are when it comes right down to it. Yeah. But you just keep smiling and create.
Yeah. Be a duck. Be a duck.
You still have the most, like my most favorite pumpkin DIY ever.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. I think
Thank you, Jennifer.
You're so welcome. Did you have another question, Amber, or was that it?
Oh, well, yeah, I just had another one. It was, I feel like I have this question with everybody because I love to know their response. In regards to relationships and growing them, how important do you think, or you feel that is for you, you know, sometimes when you get in the rut or when you get those nasty comments, just to be able to vent? Like, I finally found a couple of people that I can, you know, just randomly like say, hey girl, hey, how you doing? How's your day? How you feeling? What's going on? What are you doing? You know, everything like that. But how important do you think that is in this YouTube DIY community to build on those relationships?
I think if you can find a group, it is super important because it's an activity or a job or a space that not everyone understands. Mm-hmm. And if you can find a group that you can kind of laugh with and vent with, it makes all the difference. You know, share thumbnails and ask for advice. I mean, I've been really lucky in the group of girls that I've gotten to know. And if it wasn't for this space, I wouldn't have gotten to know them. And not only am I grateful that I get to ask them in regards to YouTube, but I'm grateful just for their friendship beyond YouTube. Yep. And so I think that there's definitely a benefit.
Okay, awesome. Y'all are cute, you and Courtney. I like y'all.
I like her too. And Miss Whitney.
All right, our last question, and then we're going to go and get food and dinner and all that other kind of stuff. Katie, I'm going to add the spotlight onto you. Go ahead and unmute yourself too. Look at that organized space behind here.
Hi. So my organized space has taken me 4 years to organize. So don't think that I am a very unorganized person. So it took me a long time. Hi to everyone here. I'm so happy to be here. But I have just a couple questions. The first one is, like, what do you guys do with all of your projects? Because when you've been on for so long, where do you put it all? Like, do you keep it? Do you give it away? What do you do?
For a long time, I would keep them. And now so I do a combination of things. At the beginning, so when I create things, a lot of times I am thinking of what I want to put in my home. So I am thinking of things I want to decorate and put in my home. And I change out things in my house often. And this makes it affordable for me to do that and fun. And when we were in times where all my friends came over all the time, I would have a stash of things I had gone through that I was no longer needing. And I would be like, what do you want? Take what you want. I'm done. And so I could give them to my group of friends. With holiday stuff, when I go to decorate for the holiday the next season, whatever I decorate with goes up. And if I don't decorate with it, then I know it's time to pass it along.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
Instead of holding on to it. And just because I just, otherwise I'll never get rid of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
another thing that I do that I love to do, I found 2 different thrift stores, one that supports a charity for a shelter and one that is just a neighborhood kind of thrift store. I donate to them. And then also I found there's a women's shelter in town that is like a kind of like a condo complex. It's like an old motel, and each one of the former motel rooms are now like little studios. And they give them to women and their kids, you know, that are staying there, leaving abusive relationships. And I donate stuff to them so they can decorate their space with them.
that's really cool.
So anything you can find like that locally, an orphanage, a charity, a shelter, even if it's like a boys and girls club or something like that, they like to put stuff up and decorate with that. Any kind of place like that, you can definitely do that too.
My local thrift store is one that takes the proceeds to feed the people in the community, and I love that.
Perfect.
That's really cool. Okay, so I have one more question.
Yeah.
So I have always been like super crafty, like my mom raised us that way. But I do more like jewelry and electroforming and lapidary stuff. So I'm not like, I don't have a channel either, but one of the girls that I watch that does a lot of jewelry, she does a lot of live videos. And I was just wondering if you ever thought of doing a live video, or if that's even a possibility with crafting, or how that would
It is a possibility. I know that Shannon, the Daily DIYer, she does it with her her membership.
Yep.
That's one thing that she does. I would have to be more organized in my time to do that. I would have to be more on my feet with a craft to do that. I'm organized. I am clean. I am not a clean crafting person. Like if you watch my videos, I am covered. And I love these gorgeous DIY girl nails that look beautiful. Notice mine will never be done because I'm constantly having to scrub paint off of them.
Sarah Jane from Chic on the Cheap has the best nails like all the
She's
time.
always, well, and Megan gets hers done too. They both like the dips.
Yep.
Dip nails. And I think even Shannon does dip nails, but I just can't. And I think they look so pretty. I'm just always scrubbing nails to no end. And my nails grow so fast that I'm never gonna be that well manicured, y'all. If you came to me for pretty nails, it's not happening.
We have a crafter that's on tonight. It's Indiana Jones, and she actually does have a live crafting show that she does. And there's themes and things involved. Annie's an actress as well, and she does a lot of different really cool fun stuff. So you could definitely connect with her through Instagram, and maybe you could even do something where she's doing a craft but you're doing jewelry, and maybe it's something that you create together where she's making like a jewelry stand but then you're making the jewelry to go with it or something. Annie, I just gave you your next show.
That's a good idea.
Thank you. Yeah, I go live.
That's the great thing about this whole forum is that we can reach out to each other and we can connect and we can share ideas. And we have gone on for an hour and 23 minutes. And Jennifer, this is so great. This should show you how loved you are by this community and how excited people were to be here. And I mean, all of us are obviously
so sweet. Thank you so much
for you to be here. And I have followed your channel and followed you on Instagram myself for a while, and the people that you're friends with were some of my earlier guests, and they meant the world to me. And just having this kind of forum to be able to share it's so grateful. I mean, I'm so grateful. I've taken all kinds of notes for tonight, and I know that everybody here feels the same way. So thank you, really.
Well, I appreciate you having me. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, we are going to say goodbye to Jennifer. Everybody unmute themselves and say goodbye and scream and holler.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Anything
you
else
so
you
much.
want?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you again. I
Thank you,
really, really
Jamie.
appreciate it.